What if I told you that psychic phenomena, ghosts, poltergeists, UFOs, space aliens, well, that's part of UFOs, and Bigfoot, what if somehow it was all interconnected? Well, it might be in a holographic universe, and that's what we're going to talk about today on today's episode of Back to Paranormal. Well, howdy do. This is your host, Marjorie, and I'm here with Brian Mitchell. And okay, I got that backwards, but welcome back to Paranormal. And we're here to talk about all these spooky things and mysterious things and Bigfoot and UFOs and all that stuff. And boy, do we have a show for you today. But anyway, here's my co-host. Please welcome her. It's Marjorie.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. How are you doing?
Hello, Brian.
How are you doing, Marjorie?
I am well. Thank you.
How do you feel about this episode today?
I am excited and a little daunted because guys, this is a biggie. This is like it's very heady. It's
very heady. There's a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we're calling it heady.
And I kind of am hoping that we'll open up the discussion. I hope we do it justice. I'm excited. I hope you're excited.
I'm excited. We discovered a gentleman who wrote a book. It was a bestseller, New York Times bestseller. It was the Holographic Universe. And this guy had paranormal experiences. He had an alien experience. He had a lot of different things. And
out of body.
Yeah, very very young, just like me. And he. Oh, well, that's our. I don't know what that was.
It's an alarm.
It's an alarm.
Sorry.
Somebody left a phone on and it was me. So
I was gonna fall on that sword for you.
No, it's all right. I'm falling on it. So anyway, this gentleman, Michael Talbot, we were able to watch a few interviews with him, and he has passed on. He's passed on in 1992, but he was a horror writer. He used to write some horror novels that were very successful, and then he was also interested in the occult, and he had theories based off of things that happened to him when he was young and throughout the years. So he ended up writing this book, The Holographic Universe. He ended up writing a few others along the same lines. But anyway, he talks about all this stuff somehow intertwined. And we're going to talk about that even more after we do our drink toasty posty. And okay, so I have my drinky right here. So what are we having tonight?
We are having a cowboy colada, which is basically a pina colada.
Right, with cowboy.
With bourbon instead. And it has no connection to Mr. Michael Talbot or holograms of any kind. I
don't know. This keeps going off.
Well,
I'm trying to get rid of it.
That's okay.
I just junked it.
It's Woody Woodpecker as a guest star on our show.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Evening. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
And I served it to you the other evening, and you liked it, so I said I'm going to make it again. That's it.
I think we should do it, and we should toast.
I toast.
Okay, no countdown.
I feel bad, but I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it? We're not doing it tonight.
We're just going to toast. It's not natural.
We're just going to do. We're going to do the toast. Here. You can hear. There you go.
Here's to you. Boop.
Stereo. Here we go. Boop. And away it goes. Liquid joy. Woo! I feel like going to see a rodeo.
I love the rodeo.
Rodeos can be fun.
I love the rodeo. My people love the rodeo so much. One of my cousins had this huge wedding on their farm, and part of the festivities was a mechanical bull.
Oh.
Yes.
Did anybody last on it, or did everybody get thrown?
Everyone got thrown.
Of course.
Everyone got thrown.
How long they last on it.
Well, I know one of my brothers my other brother and I were like, it was like slow motion. We were like, no.
It's like that horrible commercial with the paper towels.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, how did you hear about this gentleman who has had all these amazing experiences and influences?
Okay, well, I think this way, this the reason for this coming about is I'm very fascinated with the power of thoughts, because we've talked about it on the show before, like, how we'll be simpatico about thoughts completely, about random things, right? And so I think there's something much more to that phenomena, sorry. And so, I tend to seek out different things, different people. I try not to go the same old. And so I look into different things. And I just happened to find this talk with Michael Talbot. And what he started saying started ringing true, because a lot of the experiences he had, I had.
You've had a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a real weird one too, because
you've never. I mean, not to your knowledge, and certainly not to my knowledge.
Right.
But the alien visitation you haven't quite had just as yet. But there are just so many parallels. He's had the out-of-body experience, the poltergeist activity,
right? Mm-hmm.
The psychic thoughts,
right?
And other things.
There's other things, and what was really funny was he was talking about an experience with this was, I guess, in his hometown, because he lived in New York in his later years, New York City, but where he grew up, which was
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, he believes he had some sort of alien encounter, and there was a very strange woman who was dressed in white. And what was funny was a couple of years ago, I came up with an idea for a story of Guy and driving home, and I was going to actually write this into a feature film. I might still do that. But every day that he came home, he encountered a woman in white walking down this curved path, and he would always pass her. It didn't matter what time. If he came home at 7 or he came home at 8 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, kept passing this very strange woman in white. And so he had an encounter with a woman in white, and it was a very weird encounter. So it's very similar in the way of the story that I was coming up with, and so that's another thing. A kind of similarities, yeah. But anyway, that's how I kind of discovered him, and then I was looking at some of these interviews with him. There's not a whole lot, and I started reading up about this guy, and he really believed that we live in a holographic universe, and this world is basically a projection from that. And the way he equates that is like a compact disc has all this information on it, like tremendous amount of information on a compact disc, and basically it's just a flat surface. But somehow this is projected into this other universe, which is projecting it in 2D. Like he believes that we live in a 2D universe.
It's a hypothesis that suggests our 3D, what we perceive to be our three-dimensional environment, is really actually a projection from a 2D surface that's encoded with just enough information and detail for us to perceive it as a three-dimensional
but it's not,
environment.
But the actual 3D is in our consciousness.
Right.
And he actually believed that the subconscious was more real than this world. Now, when you talk about near-death experiences, there are people that have near-death experiences that basically say they're in a place that is more alive than this world, that the amount of color and the amount of joy and love is is magnified
to something with which we here in this living form are just completely unfamiliar.
Right.
And that the volume that we have around us is illusory and
it's just a fraction of what the real world is, which is basically reality. It's consciousness.
This is our perception of the reality. And I think what prompted Michael Talbot to embrace the holographic universe theory as a very heavy possibility is because all of these other things that transpired in what he deemed to be reality that were beyond reality but extremely real.
Now, he said he had a near-death experience as a boy back in his hometown, and in that experience, he saw things that he did not see in the real world. And as a matter of fact, I think once he had that out-of-body experience... did I say near-death? It was out-of-body.
It was out-of-body.
Out-of-body experience.
Yeah, not
when he came out of that out-of-body experience, he was asked by his neighbor if he had seen a book of his... And he just happened to see the book in that out-of-body experience. So he knew where it was. He saw it in the out-of-body experience, and he was able to tell him where that was. But, of course, he didn't tell him, oh, yeah, I saw it when I was leaving my body.
Floating around your yard.
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of kept that one to himself. But he said after that he was kind of convinced that, it's not just... us here in the flesh on this planet, moving around, that he felt that there was something more. And,
so there are some scientists, Pribram and David Bohm, and they both subscribed to this theory, independent of each other.
He attributes much of that information
to the work of those two.
That's right.
Neuropsychologist and a physicist who was studying the subatomic energies.
Right.
But they both kind of subscribed to this, and so when he uncovered this he had a very eclectic. Michael Talbot had a very eclectic, it seems. Education, art history. Physics, quantum mechanics, etc.
Yeah, I mean it's all quantum mechanics, but he seemed look, you could tell when somebody is kind of like faking it, making up stuff. This guy was very, very articulate, and he really knew his stuff.
Well, I think the situation is, from a very, very young age, these unreal things started happening to him.
Right.
And he just accepted them.
Yeah.
He was like, well, no, that is my reality. That is the reality.
Right.
And then throughout his education, he stumbled upon this theory, and it was always a suspicion of his, but he didn't acquire the education until later in life, and then that was his eureka moment.
Right.
He was like, okay, this is now making all of this stuff make sense.
Yes.
Like my psychic thoughts, being able to read minds, the fact that matter is changing in front of me. There's a poltergeist in my home who throws sea glass from nowhere at me, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And that he felt that the reality and these very unreal things that were happening to him were manifesting from him.
Yes.
From his consciousness that was creating the holographic impression around him.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't doing it on purpose, but he found that if he was like really angry about something, that this thing would actually... The poltergeist
activity
would manifest in his home. And when he wasn't, he didn't have the anger, the poltergeist actually got more playful. So it wasn't like all the time. I mean, he even said it wasn't all the time, but he found it intensified when there was a lot of anger and a lot of frustration. And so he started believing that somehow he was part of that manifestation of the poltergeist, which is interesting. It's an interesting theory.
It is.
You know, if you have, you know, I really believe, you know, we've talked about this before, you know, you walk into a space and if people have had like a real heavy argument, you know, it's like really nasty yelling. You're not, you're not there for it. You don't know, you don't hear it, you know. But you come into that space 20 minutes later, and you feel that heaviness.
The atmosphere is charged.
The energy.
Yeah, it's charged with that energy.
Yeah. So you know when that happens, I think that can feed into a lot of bad things. You know, I think, and if there is some sort of spiritual poltergeist activity, I think it would definitely kind of feed on that. You know, I mean, it makes sense to me. So, how do you feel?
Well, one of his earliest memories that he shares is from when he was almost maybe three or four. And he has this dream, and this woman, this maybe woman, and he suggests possibly just completely androgynous figure, very tall, all clad in white, the woman in white, which is a global, I mean, this is a globally, culturally accepted
yeah, you hear
trope.
This is something you
folklore.
Hear. You hear this in every culture.
In every culture.
Every culture, right.
And they came to this boy in his sleep and took him outside and told him, no matter what, Michael, you must never be afraid.
Yeah.
You must never be afraid, no matter what.
Right.
And he tried to explain it to his mother. And you know, honestly, I just want to take a moment to kind of give you know, I'm going to raise my glass. When we talk about people like this, like psychic Jennifer Ann.
Yes.
Okay, psychic medium Jennifer Ann.
Okay.
And their families are loving and accepting of these things that really are not, they are beyond what we perceive to be normal.
Right.
And when the families embrace things like this and don't condemn or shut it down or cap the gifts that this child is growing up receiving from the universe, I raise my glass
you raise
to
your
that.
glass. There
I
you go.
really do. Because there are a lot of families who would have locked this kid up, like, with all the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he was gifted in that way. You know, he was... you know, it's... yeah, I keep saying this happens a lot with... he was an artistic guy.
Very, but I just want to go back to the woman in white.
Good.
If I may.
Yeah.
And that was one of his earliest sort of, I guess we could say, normal to him.
Right.
Moments. And then several years later, his father was out hunting with a friend, and they saw a UFO.
Yeah.
And right nearby the house, nearby where they lived.
Yeah.
And went out into the forest where Michael, his sisters, and his mother were kind of camping out.
Yes.
And went to retrieve them and said, "This is a very strange situation. We gotta bring it back to the house."
Got a haul out of here.
Right. Yeah. And so they went back, and there was this, and everybody saw his father, his mother, the sisters, this so-called woman in white standing right in front of their home.
Right. Wow.
And they wanted to go and confront them and say, you know, what's the deal? You know, where did you come from?
Right.
And Michael, as a young boy, he knew this was the woman from my dream.
Right. Wow.
And that dream that I had when I was so small. Mm-hmm. And so it was real, you know. And they didn't go and confront, and there was no confrontation, and they just went into the home and they stayed secure.
Right.
And then the next day they went out and they looked around for footprints, and there were trails of footprints that, just as Talbot described, they were just these very small imprints of just small, what looked like
baby?
Skis.
Oh, really? Wow.
Just pointed, square.
Yeah. Interesting.
Feet. And the father saw it. And when you're from Grand Rapids, Michigan, you know your tracks.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know what's out in the woods.
Right.
And this was a completely foreign thing. And so it was very much a blessing that Michael's family was able to accept that there is this tremendous amount of very highly unusual to our world, beyond the bounds of realities
Right.
that were transpiring and circulating around their son, their child.
Yeah.
So that I find was a blessing.
Right.
For him.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that happen around this gentleman. But what I was saying before was he definitely, this guy did his research on different things, and he was very articulate. He could really convey right down to the most minute detail about how this worked, how all this stuff kind of interplays with each other. I mean, he was even talking about so-called coincidences. Mm-hmm. Like he was talking about Buffalo Bill. He said one day, I forgot what the three things were.
The synchronicities.
The synchronicities, but he had three different things happen with Buffalo Bill. I mean, the final thing was he got some magazine and he opened it up and there was a thing on Buffalo Bill. I mean, how random.
For three times in
the course of the day.
Afternoon, yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying, I think he had a dream about it, and then something happened in real life when he woke up, and then it was that magazine that he opened up, and he said it was just so weird.
And I think the interesting term that he used for that was that it was some sort of holographic dust storm that was just swirling in his...
It didn't mean anything.
It wasn't like, oh, I must go
to see
visit Buffalo Bill and Cody, Wyoming.
Right.
But no, he just was like, it was just a cluster of particulate in my living hologram.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really interesting.
I've had that happen. I've had that happen where all of a sudden it's like three things in a row like that, 3 or 4 things in the same day.
Yeah.
I particularly...
you get it a lot.
I get it a lot.
Yeah.
I get it a lot, and it's all of a sudden I'll get contacted by 3 different people, and they'll all be named the same, and then none of them are related. It'll just be, the name might be Cooper. It might be Cooper from like Massachusetts, Cooper from like Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then a Cooper from Florida. Mm-hmm. Where all of a sudden I'll get contacted by these people, and it's like, what the heck is going on?
Like, how many Coopers do I even know in life? 0.
Yeah, so that's
Mead Cooper. I know Mead Cooper.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's an odd name,
yeah,
but
it
I'm
is.
maybe not that. I don't know. How many Coopers do you know? Just the one, right?
None.
I don't know anybody.
Bradley Cooper. I don't know Bradley.
Yeah,
He's an actor.
He's an actor. Yeah.
No, Meady Cooper.
Yeah.
No.
But no,
she went to school with me. Hi, Mead.
There you go. Hi, how you doing?
She's not. She works at Fox News. She's not listening to our show.
Oh, okay.
But God bless you, Meady.
There you go. Well, anyway, I think things happen. Things happen. These weird synchronicities, and I refrain from calling them coincidences because I don't believe in coincidences.
I know.
Yeah, but this gentleman.
Well, okay, yes, but and as I'm watching him speak, okay, so we have a lot of listeners, and there are a lot of people who, when they see Sasquatch, they also see these crazy orbs and lights and flashing lights in the sky,
aliens,
or
UFOs,
UFOs,
yeah,
and I have always been like, okay, come on, it's too separate. It's two completely separate phenomena. Now you're just gilding the lily,
right.
And then you turned around and the werewolf was there, with
right.
Dracula and, and the fairies, and I thought, okay, you're just going, I thought Sasquatch is purely the missing link. He's in part of evolution and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But then when you listen to Michael Talbot talk about the possibility that the reality that we are living in this life, in this world, is the holographic universe, and that the universe is an indivisible, undivided entity. It is a whole. Every single part of it is the whole.
Right.
And it's in you, and it's in you.
Yeah, he said
it starts to make that conflation between lights in the sky and Sasquatch more. I can see that being bridged.
When we talked with Brian Gosling, who was a police officer up in Whitehall, New York,
right,
who had seen a Bigfoot,
yeah.
He was of the belief. He believed that somehow it was linked with UFOs, with the Bigfoot thing. The Sasquatch thing.
He did feel like it was like quotation marks otherworldly.
Otherworldly, yeah. So when I think the thing is when I started reading some of this stuff about Michael Talbot and then listening to it, it was like it's almost like he was pulling it all together. And this is not recent. This is from the 1980s.
Yeah. David Bohm was
before that
discussing in the holographic universe theory in the 60s.
Yeah.
And Michael Talbot was discussing it in the late 80s and the early
in the 80s, but he was tying
the 90s.
He was tying his personal experience.
It makes theories like the interconnection between Sasquatch and alien phenomena more understandable from a physics point of view.
Right.
Another thing that it makes to me more. It makes this more comprehensible to me. Yeah. A lot of people have been talking lately in the fertility universe that trauma is inherited in babies from generations and generations and generations before.
Yeah, I believe that.
And
he did believe in reincarnation. He believed in reincarnation. And he believed in a spiritual universe.
But if you look at it on the quantum level, on the cellular level, it really does. Now that I'm thinking about it, that really does make sense.
Sure.
Whatever transpired to your great-grandmother was transferred through her cells generation after generation after generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if your DNA can be transferred from, one cell.
Right.
Which holds all this information about you. Why not? Why couldn't it also hold informational? You have animals that just kind of know, animals get born, whatever it is, whether it's a couple of weeks or months or whatever. And, they're kind of like the mothers know what to do with the babies. And then, the babies kind of grow up. They kind of know what to do, And, certain things might have to be taught, but there's things that they call it instinctual, right?
Right, but you're saying it comes from their cellular makeup.
I think it's just something that it's this knowledge that they just have. They know what to do.
Well, obviously, if they didn't know what to do, they wouldn't exist. The babies would die, and they would no longer evolve. They would be obliterated from.
Right.
They would be extinguished.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, was that over time that just became like a thing? Like, because a lot of people don't believe that, you have a mind, right? And you have a brain, but a lot of people believe that it maybe some of that knowledge is not just in your brain. Maybe it's in your heart, or maybe it's through the rest of your body, or it comes from a different place. Maybe this is separate from your actual physical mind.
It comes from the body. The time before.
Yeah, which is basically, it's there, but that's your consciousness. That's, it may not be in a place in the brain. And that's what a lot of people believe. That's what, Wayne Dyer, that's what he believed. I believe that this is what this gentleman, Michael Talbot, believed. So that would make a lot of sense, right?
Well, Michael Talbot did definitely talk about when he was a young boy how he was convinced that he had had a previous life.
Yeah.
He, when his parents weren't looking, he would make himself cups of tea and sit cross-legged on the floor and meditate and do things that, a young 4-year-old boy from Grand Rapids, Michigan would really not be expected to know about or do.
Right.
And so
it's interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, the holographic universe.
He wrote other books too. He also wrote some fiction, like thrillers and things,
horror stuff, yeah.
Horror and science fiction.
Right.
Seems to me like his mind was processing
a lot of different
things. Everywhere, all at once. That everything, everywhere, all
at once. Yeah. Well, he was saying that, he would try to still his mind, and just to try to meditate, and not focus on anything, and all these things, all these different thoughts would come into his mind about all these different things, and he felt like, as an individual, or his consciousness, he had all these different factions trying to vie for attention, and he wasn't thinking about any of it. Just kind of these things would be popping into his head, which kind of interesting.
Well, he was saying that very often his psyche, his thoughts were semi-autonomous.
Yeah. Like his mind or his subconscious had a mind of its own.
Right. Not that he was having these thoughts, but the thoughts were
just popping in.
Yeah. Had an activity all of their own volition.
Yeah.
And coming at him.
Kind of interesting,
from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Very interesting, but it's also very very, very, very interconnected.
He did. Before you get into this, I just want to say he did believe that if you could really focus, if you could find a way of really focusing and believing, you can manifest things, into reality. But you really had to believe it and put that much emphasis. He believed that at some point in our future, we will be able to do that on a steady basis. But as of now, we're limited. So, interesting.
There's this thing that he mentioned in one of his interviews where, so we talk about that show, Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Yes.
And right now, I think I can recall maybe 3, possibly 4 videos that have filmed this same type of phenomena, which is this mercurial looking, almost like a massive soap bubble.
Oh, yes.
That is here on Earth with us, and that has been caught on camera, floating, and it kind of morphs, much like a very large, soap bubble. Like, when you go to the park and there's that guy with the batons and the big string, and he goes into a big tub of soapy water, and then he makes all these crazy shapes.
Giant bubbles.
Huge giant bubbles. Okay, so like that, but completely operating all on its own, with its own
agenda.
Thank you. Trajectory.
Right.
And I've seen a couple of these videos. And then you go back to an interview from 1990, 1991 with Michael Talbot, and he tells this experience where he saw a big, bright flash of light in his home in New York City, and he thought that a truck was driving through his ground floor window. He lived on the ground floor, and
jumped on his piano.
And he hid behind the piano, and it wasn't a truck coming through the window. He stood up and he went, and he his curiosity got the better of him, and he saw this soap bubble floating in the middle of his living room. Now, this is decades before they came out with that show.
Yes, it's not a soap bubble. I know you're equating it to a soap bubble, but it's like this.
It's a form.
This form that looks like a soap
looks
bubble.
like a soap bubble. Yeah. Okay, no, it's not made of soap.
Yes.
I didn't mean
Just
to.
want to make sure that nobody, that.
Thank you.
They get the idea that the guy was playing in a bathtub.
No, he's not. With his rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky and
it just is this giant thing that looks like a mercurial bubble of soap just floating in the middle of his living room, and he was terrified, and then he realized, no, I need to communicate. This is important, and he told the entity, you just scared the living daylights out of me, so you need to stop.
Right.
And it sparkled away.
Yeah.
But this is decades before we're seeing these.
The sparkles was interesting.
The sparkles was interesting.
Because I've had that. I didn't have the soap bubble, but I had the sparkles just in a corner of the room, just sparkling. And it was not a reflection of anything. It was just in the air. And I've heard the sparkly thing at other times remarking about like spiritual stuff. So that's kind of interesting. I think Wayne Dyer had an experience like that.
Once in a blue moon, I get it in the corner of my eye, and it's like, whoosh, but it's so fast.
And it's gone.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
But it really gave his testimony on that. It gave those videos that we've seen a lot of gravitas.
It does.
To me.
Yeah. Well, to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Very fascinating guy, and the theories very, very interesting. And I think there's something to it. Really
they came out with that movie, The Matrix, and now people are using that as the term.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever somebody sees something that's happening not the way it should happen in
he's
this
out of the
material.
Matrix. Yeah.
Well, they're like, there's a glitch. There's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
There's a,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And we've seen videos of that too, like birds just frozen in the sky, not moving. People's reflection in the side view mirror not really matching what it actually is that they're doing.
Well, Talbot, he recounted a story that it was about, he was taking a drive with a friend, and I think they were coming to New York, and they didn't really hit any traffic. They estimated they would be, in New York at a certain time. They arrived like a couple hours later, and they have no idea what happened for the 2 hours. That was, because they were like, no, we're calculating it, and then get to New York, and then basically it's
they saw a light.
2 or 3 hours.
They saw a light in the sky.
Oh, was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were kind of transfixed on it, and they felt like they were following it, or it was following them.
Right. That's right. You're right.
And they were destined to. They calculated the time it would take them to get to this party. They were like in college or what have you.
Yeah.
And when they got to the party, everybody was like, "You were hours late."
Yeah, exactly.
And they had no idea.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And he said
that was a glitch in the Matrix.
That was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
He said that people have attempted to hypnotize him.
Yeah, but he was
to find out to retrieve that memory. And the funny thing is if we were in a linear universe time-wise, I believe that he would have been able to, under the normal practices of hypnosis, retrieve that memory.
Right. Wow.
But because of this, if you follow the holographic universe model, it actually makes sense that memory was not able to be retrieved.
Right.
Because you can't pick that out of what he believes what happened in his reality was.
Right.
I left the house, I left 2 hours to get to the party, I saw a light, we drove, we saw it, we both watched it, and then we showed up at the party.
There you go.
And that's his reality.
That's his reality.
In his holographic, the TV screen that's in his brain.
That's right. Okay, so I stopped you before. What are the books did he?
Yeah, I wanted to tell our listeners about some of the other the other books.
So the famous one is the Holographic Universe, and that's available. I think you can actually read it online. I think it's available on the Internet Archive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think you can go into your favorite bookstore or go on to Amazon and you can buy it there. But what are some of the other ones that he wrote? He wrote a couple of books about that.
Well, it's called Mysticism and the New Physics, which I think is interesting because that's how he's really combining and making sense through physics,
right?
His faith in mystical phenomena that are a part of our world.
Yeah.
Beyond the quantum.
Okay.
And and the holographic universe. Oh yeah, you're right. These are freely available on the Internet Archive.
Yeah. And then he wrote a bunch of horror or sci-fi, I think before that. But what I was going to say before about we talk about artistic people being more sensitive to this type of phenomenon or phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying phenomenon, but yeah, I think he was definitely an artistic guy, and he not only wrote. I think he was into the arts. He obviously played piano, so he was into a lot of different things like that.
He wrote a book called Night Things.
Mm-hmm.
The Bog, which sounds really, really spooky.
Yeah.
He wrote The Delicate Dependency, a book called Your Past Lives, which I think is very interesting. Anyway, very, very prolific, very, very fertile mind, very curious mind.
Yeah.
He is not a skeptic. He always reserved a little bit of skepticism, but only so that it would push him to understand more,
to try to find some truth,
work out the puzzle, as it were.
Yeah.
And if our listeners are interested in any of this or trying to make sense of any of these things, like why, for example, you have had not only an out-of-body experience, but multiple very curious paranormal moments in your life.
Psychic,
a tremendous
spiritual
amount of psychic capability you are privy to.
Yeah. And like I said, I can't turn it on. It's not like it's not like, okay, we're going to be psychic today, and it turn on the Brian switch, which
turn on your psychic switch.
Yeah, sorry, that was ridiculous.
That really was ridiculous.
Yeah,
we have to figure out what we're going to do for our Halloween episode.
I
want to talk about werewolves, and you never do.
Well,
I'm like sick of it. I'm sick of it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Anyway, there's some interviews with Michael Talbot that you can look at online, and some of them are just look at the straightforward stuff, because some of the other stuff tries to say, oh, and he mysteriously died, and he didn't mysteriously die. He lived to the age of 38, and he died of leukemia, and but very, very bright guy.
Well, the world lost a very beautiful mind there.
I think so. And it really resonated with me.
A beautiful mind is one that can appreciate the magnitude of other beautiful minds, whether you agree or disagree.
Right. Well, the one thing...
He possessed that.
That's true. The one thing that he did say was, if you believe that this is all that it is, just, us on this planet, going to work, coming back from work, having a cookout in the backyard or whatever... you're sadly mistaken, because there is much more to this world, much more beyond this world that we can't even comprehend.
Every particulate in the universe collapses into a cosmic unity. And never forget that. We're all unified. And in your mind, the entire universe is in your brain.
That's what he said.
No, that's not what he said.
That's what you believe.
David Bohm. Dr. David Bowman. I have always believed that.
Yes. Talbot did say from that molecule in your brain to a salmon that's swimming to the star in the sky that you're looking at, he said, we're all connected. That's what he believed, and I believe that. So, there you go. I think we should do a Halloween episode. I think we should talk about some of these legends like werewolves and vampires and creepy stuff like that. What do you think?
I would like to talk about it.
Okay, so maybe that will be our episode. But we were supposed to do an episode about the moon, about the dark side of the moon. That's coming next week. So we were supposed to do it this week, but it's going to be next week. I'm sorry about the delay. We had a 4-week delay because we were trying to set up things for shows, and we got real busy. But
we're trying to work out some kinks in this season, I will say.
Yeah, and I think...
but we would like to make this the best show for you, and we can't do that unless you kind of reach out to us and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking.
I ask the same thing every week. I'm a broken record.
You know... the one comment that's going to come back, well, the first thing you should do is get rid of the goofy guy. And
no.
Yeah, just have Marjorie do it, because Marjorie's beautiful, and Marjorie's articulate, and she's brainy, and she takes notes, and I just show up.
I would not have known about any of these things had it not been for you, my love.
Oh, well, thank you.
I won't do this without you. That would be like watching Dancing with the Stars without you. Would I ever watch Dancing with the Stars without you?
I think it would be like watching Dancing with the Stars without the stars.
Well, you're the star in my heart.
No, you are the star of the show.
In my heart.
And you know it.
Stop. Did you like your cowboy colada? I'm changing the subject right now.
The cowboy colada is a very, very excellent drink.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I thought it was a really big risk, and then I tasted it.
Yeah.
And well, actually, I didn't taste it. I gave it to you to taste. Right.
I did. I was a guinea pig. Yeah.
And I was scared.
But it was good.
You were like, I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And you know, when you drink one of these, all of a sudden a cowboy hat pops on your head, and you get the cowboy boots with it, along with the holster. So
the Western boots.
It just like ting.
Do a little boot.
Just shows. And
what was that? Your spurs?
My spurs?
Yeah.
No, that's the magical appearance of the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots and the holster. So, yeah, and the mechanical bull.
Turned into a cowboy.
A cowboy.
You stop.
I'm gonna have my drink. I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna drink it some more. So there you go. Cheers. There you go.
That is half my family are a cowboy. Okay, and
Sorry.
they do not.
Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks except for those country singers. I drank, and I drank, and I drank, and I drank some more. Okay, they don't talk like that.
Sorry.
It's a caricature.
It's wonderful. He's a cartoonist, okay?
And I have a cartoon mind.
You do.
And I think like Yosemite Sam. So, anyway. All right. Well, no offense to anybody. Just goofing around.
I don't know what in tarnation is going on.
Yeah, what in tarnation is going on here?
Tarnation going on.
What in tarnation is going on here?
All right. Okay. All Thank you for listening to our show.
No more of these cartoony voices.
Give me the cup. Give me the thing.
Here you go.
Enough with you.
Oh, she confiscated it. Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, we'll see. Look, we're gonna be back next week to annoy you more. Well, actually, she won't, but I'll be.
No, we're going to be talking about some very curious things about the satellite which orbits our planet Earth,
and the dark side of the moon, and what's going on there. And we're going to be posing all those questions for next week's episode of Back to Paranormal.
Paranormal.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. God bless you.
God bless all of you.
God bless you.
God bless you.